Hey, Seeker. Welcome to the Existential Shift. Welcome home. If you're new, my name is Morgainne, and I'm happy to have you. So this is a all signs reading for the month of February 2026. When I say all signs, I include Ophiuchus. So today we're going to do tarot. I'll be working with the Rider-Waite tarot deck. But we will also pull a rune for each sign. It's an eclipse season. We're having an eclipse 28 degrees in the sign of Aquarius on the 17th. Give or take a day, depending where you're at in the world. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, bye. Just kidding. So say hello to me in the chat if you're watching the recording afterwards. Behind the comments. I love knowing which sign you are and where you're at in the world, where you're tuning in from. So feel free to share or anything else you want to share with me. If you're watching this as a recording after the live and you feel inclined to timestamp this reading, that would be fantastic and very, very helpful. So thank you in advance. Okay. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. How are you guys doing? I'm going to start with Aquarius because it's your birthday season. So happy birthday, Aqua. I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit. I used to do Ophiuchus at the end of the all signs, but now I do Ophiuchus just in chronological order between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So let me just declare that we're doing Aquarius right now. Okay, great. Aquarius, February, what's going on? Show me Aqua. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. Thank you, Tarot. Thank you to all my channel members. Your monetary support makes a difference. It's not that early in the morning. I don't know why I'm sports. Okay. Aquarius, first card out, we have the Devil and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. An offer you can't refuse, or you're making an offer someone can't refuse. We truly can't you refuse? Sometimes things are too good to be true. And sometimes people know how to play on the things they know we care about and are important to us. And they use it to kind of lure us into being like, oh, this is amazing. So, friendly reminder, half truth is a whole lie. Okay? Omission is deception. And you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're offering, you're giving the whole picture, not just the convenient aspects of it that will be convincing, and then, okay, they'll find out later the rest. Remember karma. And if someone is doing that to you, if someone is making you that offer, don't be quick to have your ego stroked. And don't be quick to say yes just because it sounds whatever. Someone here wants something from you, but they're going to present it as if they're trying to give you something. And oh, it's for your own good. Oh, I'm being generous. Oh, I'm being charitable. Oh, I'm giving you this. I'm giving you that. Um, again, every reading that I do can go both ways, always. So it could be the other way around. It's like, oh, I'm doing this for your own good. Oh, I'm being charitable to you. Oh, you should be grateful. When in fact, there's an ulterior motive that will actually really benefit them from this supposed help. And maybe it is helpful for you. Maybe it will help you, but somehow there's something hidden there that is not right. And it will come around later on. So be sure that whatever be sure to be honest with yourself. You know, whether you're on the receiving end or the giving end of this proposition, be honest with yourself and be like, what is my true motive here? What is my true reason? And then go from there. And then if you can transmute this energy. If you choose to be honest about this with that person and be like, again, if the case is that you are doing the proposition, if you just tell this person, hey, I want to give you this and this, and also this is the way it will benefit me. I feel like we can benefit each other. If you're just upfront about this with yourself and then you're upfront about it with whoever is relevant, it can become the high priest, the hierophant, instead of the devil. And then it will have longevity, sincerity, authenticity, and good karma to it, or at the very least, not negative one. Okay. So I hope this, so remember this reading. These are reading for the next month or for the next season. I am a little bit late. I apologize. I'm recording this on February 6th, but you still have nearly 4 weeks. So maybe save this reading or just take note of that. If it doesn't speak to you right now, but maybe it will come around soon. Yeah, a rune for Aquarius, just to kind of complete this message. Rune for Aquarius, please, for the month of February. So Willow. So truth and light will bring you victory. Have all the cards on the table. Do not omit anything. And don't let anyone omit anything from you. Make sure that everything is done in the light, with awareness. You know that you have small print in the contract. Make sure that you read it, or make sure that the person that you're giving it to is like, hey, here are the small print. Be very, very okay. Make sure that you're the one who's coming forth with things, and as opposed to discover. Often, the thing itself isn't the issue as the omission or the um, distortion of it. That becomes the issue. Okay, how can I trust you if you weren't honest about the thing, as opposed to if someone was to just be upfront with everything, it would be easy. So Suilo says there's victory in truth, there's victory in transparency. Suilo is the sign. Great, good reading. Um, I heard good riddance, so maybe you're like feeling like, oh, this is a confirmation to like rid of a behavior or of a person situation. Okay, who's next? Next we have Pisces. And by the way, guys, I can see that you're here and I love it, but it would be really great if you'll say hi to me so I don't feel like I'm just talking to a screen. And I know I'm talking to a screen, but recognizing that there's someone on the other side of the screen is makes it more alive. So don't be shy. Right. Pisces. Oh yeah, and Aquarius, it's a solar eclipse in Aquarius in your sign. So it's a profound new beginning when it comes to your being in the world and how you're being perceived in the world. Eclipses can bring about things, but they can also strip us from things. And when it comes to a solar eclipse in such a big degree, it can be stripping you off of bad habits, bad tendencies, or things that no longer serve you, that maybe used to serve you, used to work, just no longer work. Um, and it kind of shows you what no longer applies. So this will be a month that's really kind of putting you on the spot when it comes to yourself and how you're mirrored back to yourself via your relationships. And it's going to make, the- often we gaslight ourselves. It's going to make the self-gaslighting a lot more evident. You're going to recognize where you've been insincere with yourself. And that's powerful and uncomfortable. And it's going to happen in like weird, bizarre ways because it's Aquarius energy. Um, possibly like, cosmic serendipity or like something happens and creates this fascinating domino effect, and you're like, whoa, how did that happen? Like a sudden um, roller coaster that you didn't even know you're in the line, you're in line to get on, and you found yourself on it, but it's very beneficial and puts you on a new trajectory. So that's great. Okay, awesome. That was the message. Great. So, Pisces, message for Pisces, please. For February. Happy birthday to you, early Pisceans, who celebrate at the end of February, the first 10 degrees of the sign. You have a wonderful year. Hmm. Let me just write it in chat. Okay. Pisces. Hmm. Pisces for February, please. The eclipse is happening in your 12th house, the sign behind you. It can be a moment of healing for something that you've been carrying in your subconscious, like a shocking eureka moment in a eureka way, where you just have this profound realization and it completely transform your neurotransmitters and the way your brain works. Um, Queen of Cups. Let's do one more. So the feels are going to run deep. You're used to that. That's your element, but it's going to be more scorpionic. It's not just going to be the kind of field that you're in. It's going to be the kind of field that affects your environment and that you share with your environment or very specific person or people. Not so much so, you know, make it public, but choosing someone specific that you want to share it with. Queen of Cups and Four of Swords. You recognize that there's some emotional healing that you haven't been addressing that requires addressing and staying with and processing, and maybe some taking time off for healing and for rejuvenation, emotional and energetic. Some of you feel called to abstain from sex because you feel like you want to cleanse yourself of other people's energies. And if that's the case, go for it. So you might find yourself like feeling like you need to take some time to be celibate for a while. But you want to make sure that it's not just you're not doing something for a time frame and then you're healed. It's not about the time, it's about the work and it's what you do in that time frame. So you want to practice also the awareness, the work, um, active healing, but internally. So I see this month as a month where you're processing feelings and emotions and taking some time for yourself. You might have a break from someone that you've been emotionally involved with, emotionally and or sexually, some sort of romance, or from a desire of some sort. You're like, it's not working for me, it's not serving me, it's triggering me, and you want to kind of like take time to process the triggers and see what it is that they're trying to point out, what it is that this person has been reflecting to you. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's take out a rune now for Pisces. Rune for Pisces. February. Pisces, you have King. I'm picking up beginnings and endings. So there's something that wants to kind of there's a past that wants to be integrated into the future, but not necessarily in a way of bring it the way it was and repeat it, or just kind of like we treat the nodes, right? The north and south node. The south node is not to be completely let go of and dismissed, rather integrated into the north node. So something with your past essence or with just past person, past situation, um, the maybe it's like still maintaining the relationship but in a different way, or just what you've learned from it to be utilized for the future, kind of learned from it. And there's a new beginning who wants that, who, okay, it could be a person that wants to begin in your life and integrate into your life, but it needs to be, really watered and invested in, and um, you need to be patient with it um, and not rush things. It's not to say that you don't do the thing for months and then, okay, time went by, and then rush things. No, the process. You engage in the process without pushing and rushing. Okay. Good luck with that, Pisces. Crimes Against Art. Good afternoon to you as well. Welcome. Good afternoon or good morning or good evening, wherever you're watching. Mhm. Thank you for joining. Thank you for saying hi. Right. Next we have Aries. Hi, Aries. Aries secret. The eclipse is happening in your 11th house of dreams and society, community. If someone in the chat is willing to write in the chat the sign I'm working on every time I move to another zodiac, that'd be great. What I've been doing so. The thing about late degrees, new moons, certainly solar eclipse, which is like a new moon on steroids, is it's not really a new beginning. It's clearing out what we've mastered and being discerning of what needs to be taken with us from here on and whatnot in order to be able to have the new moon properly when the next cycle of new moons in lower degrees begin. Um, or it can be a beginning with something existing from the past. It's not a complete new beginning. This applies in general to new moons and late degrees. We've had a row of new moons in like the 28th degree, like, or the last degrees of the zodiac. We've had a few signs already back to back. So for many of us, it's the past redone in a more appropriate way. Like maybe many of us have been in situations that are good for us, but it wasn't the right timing, or we weren't ready, or the other side wasn't ready, or there was more process that we had to go through. So it's like a new beginning within an existing situation, or a redo just better of the past. That is something that no degrees new moons do. And few areas it's happening as a solar eclipse in the 11th house. So something to do with aspirations, your dreams, your goals, but also in society. Um, Maybe a community that you once were a part of. You want to reignite the connection, a dream you once had that you put aside that you want to pursue again, that you're feeling the passion for it again, um, and so on and so forth. But it can also always be involved with endings because often in order to have something new, something else has to end. For Aries for this month of February, please, from the tarot. Cards are thinking. There we go. We have Three of Pentacles and the Hangman. So something you've been collaborating on with other people, you're putting on hold. You want to reassess and figure and reconsider if you really want to take that path. There's a level of sacrifice you're asked to take in order for that to happen, and you're no longer certain that it's truly a sacrifice you want to make. Maybe it's something that you were used to willing to do, not so certain anymore. It's a little bit more complicated. Your perspective has changed, or specifically with the hangman, I should say, expanded. The hangman looks at things 360 and also knows how to adapt to the changing circumstances or the changing conditions. Okay, this was applicable yesterday, it will not be necessarily applicable tomorrow. Truth is admirable. It was true, it no longer is, or it is true now, it used to not. And you're able to be fluid about it. But with something that you used to be very rigid, that you've been building, that you've been constructing, that you've been planning, very positive. The Three of Pentacles is a very positive endeavor involving other people, which makes a lot of sense with the eclipse in your 11th house. So some sort of mutual goal could be you might be reconsidering and putting on hold to have a different approach to, or just completely transform. Okay. Runes, a rune, please, for Aries, for the month of February. Rose in the reverse. You want to be very aware of your fears and of your hesitancy and of not being stuck in the barn, even though you're a strong bull. Rose is the ox, but it's a liberated ox. It's not the kind of ox that is enslaved to a farm. It's the kind that, is out in the wild. But in the reverse, it's the kind that gives itself and its own power away. And it's not coming from strength. It's coming from fears and insecurity. So you want to consider why it is that you do what you do, why it is you don't do what you don't do, and be honest with yourself. A lot of times we're scared to do something, but we tell ourselves that we're not doing it because it's the right thing, or we're not doing it because we can't, or we're not doing it because it's wrong, or that we're actually covering the fact that it has more to do with fear, anxiety, insecurity, and we just don't acknowledge that to ourselves. Aries, you're very proud. You're known for your courage, and it's very hard just for an Aries to acknowledge that they're scared of something. But this is something you will only be able to transform and liberate yourself from once you acknowledge the reason why you're in this situation. And picking up fear and insecurity and also hesitancy, making a change or ruffling feathers. You know, you have to break down the barn's door. You're gonna have to upset the owner of the farm and so on and so forth. So that's what the blues here is trying to say. Look at that, Aries. Okay. Next we have Taurus. Hey, Taurus. How's it going? This eclipse is happening in your 10th house of career and reputation and status and goals, but also fatherhood and leadership. And you have Two of Cups and Five of Wands. So Five of Wands coming out with such a romantic card immediately evokes another aspect of it that normally isn't spoken about in Five of Wands. So the story behind Five of Wands, Greek mythology, is about Medea and Yas. Medea was a seer. She was a witch, a wise woman, and Yason and Medea fell in love. And Yason wanted to go on a journey to, back to his um, kingdom to reclaim his throne that was taken from him. And in order for them to be together, she had to give up on everything in her life, leave her land and leave her family in order to go and be with him. There was a level of intense sacrifice on her behalf so that they could be together. And the struggle that is coming through, A, represents that. So someone might need to make a sacrifice in order for love, but it's a sacrifice that they're making wholeheartedly and they understand it's part of their destiny or journey, or they just, it's something that they're doing willingly, even though they're aware of the struggle. But also, this is a very important key part, Yassin had a tendency to not listen to her advice. She was a seer. She could see what others can't. And from a place of arrogance and from, thinking he knows it all, he was a leader and he was a king. He just didn't listen to her warnings. Eventually, it led to his downfall because she saw issues that could arise, challenges that could arise, and she warned him, "Hey, let's not go there. Hey, let's not do that." And he just didn't listen because he didn't see it right away. He only looked at what he saw visually or from the way he processes um, reality or situation, and he couldn't understand how she reads reality or what is it that she sees. But it's like a blind man telling someone who can see, "Oh, it's not real because I can't see it," or someone who's colorblind being like, "Prove that this is this and that color." So it's important that if you're dealing with, or if you're the seer, or if you're dealing with someone who has insight that you don't necessarily understand or see yourself, but they're trying to kind of give you advice or warning, and they're like, just trust me, I just feel it, I just know it. They're even known to have that strong intuition or whatever the case. Consider listening because now it's like struggle, but further down the line, um, it's going to lead to a failure that could have been prevented. So there's a loved one in your life that is not listening to your advice, or you're not listening to their advice. So that's something to consider, to become aware of. Mm. Now let's pull a rune. One for Taurus, and one for February. But there is a romance coming through with just like some challenges. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Because if I would want to think outside of the box and if you are open to creative solutions, then it leads to the Six of Wands and to victory. Taurus, February. Now, these in the reverse. So this is going to be a trial in your relationship. So it's a romantic relationship, someone you're involved with. Maybe you've already been dating them and you're just starting to stay in this, but um, you reach a turning point, a test. And if you're able to pass this, then your relationship will be, well, I can't say for sure for two cards and forever and ever, but it's something karmic for both of you to confront. And when I say confront, I don't mean like fight. I mean deal with and face and not avoid or deny. It's going to be something you're going to need to deal with. Um, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be difficult and trying, but it's going to be worth it. And it's going to be the difference of whether or not, yes, someone succeeds in his endeavor with greater ease or if he's having a whole lot harder of a time. Um, when you cross this bridge, do you heed the advice of someone wise that cares about you and you care about them, or vice versa? Okay, wow. Taurus, intense. Good luck. Let's see, who's next? Next is Gemini. I like the rhythm of things. I like the rhythm that we're going. Okay, it's a little dark. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can make it a bit brighter. Mm. Mm, mm. Okay, Gemini, how are you doing? The eclipse is happening in your ninth house. Could be beginning a major travel journey. Could be just a spiritual journey, um, and could be the ending of one, or the conclusion of one. For some of you, it will be this. For some of you, it will be that. Again, it's a solar eclipse in a late degree, so it could go either way. You're changing your mind about something profoundly. It affects your understanding of life, your perspective on life, completely, completely taking a completely different turn. And it's like life is not going to be the same. Interesting. Okay. Ooh. We have the High Priestess and Seven of Wands. Let's see if this helps with the light. Ooh. You're discovering something that was hidden from you. I don't know if it was hidden from you because someone actively hid it from you, or you just weren't able to perceive it or to see it. Sorry. um, what is happening? Give me a moment, Gemini. I appreciate your patience. Trying to make challenging writing work. I was supposed to go live an hour before I went live because that's what I wanted. But it turns out that throughout the night, the laptop was I connected it to the wall, but it just fell, so it wasn't charging. So I needed to charge it a little bit. But I realized I wouldn't be able to charge it properly in time, so I moved to a different spot where there's less light. Although, you know what, Gemini, I'll be right with you. Let me just move. Wait, I'm not. Am I doing Gemini right now? What is happening? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Welcome to being a Gemini. I just totally tapped into a Gemini energy. That's amazing. Okay. Let me be a good Gemini and just do it. Hold on. We are already charged enough, so I'm just gonna move all of this beautiful adventure of tarot to another table. Hold on, hold on. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm a work in progress. Still here. Hold on, Jemmy. Hold on, hold on. Okay. Goodness. I did it. We did it. Yeah. I like this better. I like this better. Hello. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the world of going live while tapping into 13 different energies throughout the live. I process the energy physically, and only then it translates cognitively, and I'm able to speak it. Um, Obviously, we don't see that process, but sometimes it manifests like that. That was typical, stereotypical Gemini energy. But we're better here. I feel better here, so it's okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay. We had Gemini, High Priestess, and Seven of Wands. So there's something about, so something was hidden from your intuition. You didn't pick up on it. And you're like, how did I not pick up on it? Because usually you pick up on things like that. Usually you're very, very fast, quick, clever. You pick up on nuance, on change in tone. You're a master communicator and you know how to read other people's types of communication. Um, and something was just kind of fogged, if that's a word, out of your perception. And in retrospect, you realize it made you focus or deal with something that wasn't the focus of something. It wasn't something you were supposed um, to give too much room for, right? And you feel like you've wasted your time. No, this was a lesson, a karmic lesson that you were supposed to go through in order to learn something about intuition in general and about intelligence in general. No one is immune. It was somewhat of a humble pie, sorry, or it's going to be somewhat of a humble pie, but not like in an exterior, humiliating way. People recognize you were wrong, or although some it could be like that. It really depends on your specific situation of karma, but it's not what specifically is coming through here. What's coming through here is more so a spiritual lesson that will serve you moving forward. Um, it was a karmic lesson that your spirit wanted you to go through. So in a way, you were it's kind of like it doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how intuitive you are, it doesn't matter how wise you are, you're not immune to certain things being hidden from you. You can't possibly know everything. And it's important just to maintain a sense of humility with situations where we might be absolutely certain that we're right, but maybe we're not, and always have that little self-doubt, not from a place that wants to belittle yourself, not acknowledge yourself, but from a place of understanding that we are a grain of sand in this infinite universe. And it doesn't matter just how expansive we are still also limited. And that is the nature of things, and that is for a reason. Human is not intended to be a godlike creature. We are a aspect of God, of creation. We carry the God particle. We are a piece of the puzzle that carries the essence of the greater puzzle, but we require other pieces of a puzzle in order to be that bigger puzzle, or for that bigger picture to be. Um, so we can never just do it all on our own. It's not possible. And if you if like one of you out there carries the perception of being godly, this is maybe this is what happened. Someone has really humbled you, is humbling you by recognizing that you were, I don't know, something there was making you, this is a mirror, right? You were making you put up an unjust battle. But again, this is all happened, this was all orchestrated by your higher self. And I think with the eclipse, season is where you recognize it and become greater thanks to it. Okay. Good luck, Jemmy. Now we have room for Gemini, please, for February. We have Kenaz facing up. So Kenaz in the upright will look like this, but it's like this. It's like Spirit is asking you to surrender to what the universe is trying to show you and to the energy it's trying to implement in you, and to be receptive and not resistant. It's like Gemini, it's a reminder that you are a vessel and that the universe is trying to pour water into you. And if there's no space in the cup, then it can't empty your cup. Okay. Yay. Great message. Good luck, Gemini. And thank you for being here. Now we have Cancer. So let's see. What is going on with Cancer? For February. Cancer, you're having this eclipse in the 8th house, picking up the financial aspect of it. Could be to do with an investment in some sort of technology or innovation. Just read the fine print and don't invest anything you're not able to lose. It's not to say that it will fail, not at all. It could be a major success. It's just only invest that which you are able to lose. And that's just a part of the lesson and of the practice. And being be Saturnian about it, not Uranian about it. So if it is innovative and groundbreaking or a risk, really calculated risk, and do extensive research and have like a safety net. Do not bet the farm, because even if it is going to be a major success, which it can, if that's, this is a very specific message channel but from the eclipse, but I will also do tarot, so stay tuned. Too. But even the thing is, even if it's going to be a great success, and it could be, the point of it is that the energy, your higher self wants to see you not risking your well-being, not being sacrificial, and making sure that you're responsible with yourself. And as soon as you show that you can be your own parent and and kind of monitor yourself and parent yourself, go, no, 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 don't take that risk. It's not, or don't risk losing everything. Then it can trust you to give you abundance. Okay, that's important. Um, sorry, I'm just checking something. Okay, never mind. So let's see what the tarot has to say for Cancer. Cancer. First card out, Two of Swords. One more. And Strength. Very interesting. See, not with the eyes, but with the heart. Interesting that I need to say it's a Cancer, like for you. Two of Swords and Strength. Your strength of manifestation and your life force, chi, will unleash when you stop being in denial to your pain. You're like, Morgainne, I'm not in denial to my pain. I feel it all. Uh-huh. There's something from your childhood, a trauma of some sort you've not been dealing with. Maybe you touched and go a little bit, but you haven't dived. And it's a clog. It's clogging your energetic channels, your solar plexus for sure. Start with just feeling it. You don't even need to resolve anything. Just feel it. That will be the resolution. Do not act like you're strong. Recognize that you're in pain, but there's something weak there, gentle there, sensitive. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. It's in your inner child, and there's a level of denial because you're worried that if you'll tap into it and feel it and acknowledge it, it will make you weak, and that scares you because you feel like it might put you in danger. But you're safe, and you can go there, even if it hurts like hell. You will be able. You can afford breaking down because you'll be able to reconstruct and get back up, and it's going to be okay. You have that strength of spirit and strength of heart. And once you do that, once that tie gets once that knot gets released, so much energy will be able to flow through you. And you will be able to really manifest with greater ease, um, and things won't be blocked. So that's the message for you for February. Let's see the rune for February. February 2026. Cancerian seekers, please. Dang, who else got this? Was it Pisces or Aries? I don't know. No, it was Pisces. Okay, so watch Pisces if you haven't. So, in for Cancer for the month of February, this is the knot. It's coming through as something different this time. It's the knot that I just spoke about from the tarot. That is the portal. So this emphasizes that knot that needs to be untied and released. Because the rope cannot be pulled at the moment because of the tie. Um, and there's some pain-based energy in that place for you, in that soul. I'm feeling it strongly in the solar plexus. It doesn't allow your higher and your lower to be balanced. And when I say higher and lower, I don't mean better or worse. It's just the higher chakras, the lower chakras. It's all a cycle anyway. So the crown chakra is the root chakra. That's a whole other rabbit hole. But it's like there's a cut in the cycle, right? There's a cut there, so energy can't flow. So just meditate a lot on that space. Do Reiki if you know Reiki, or if you want to have someone else do it for you. Um, I add Reiki service to my mentorship. If you want to book a mentorship, but that's a big journey to take. That takes a month. But you will be able to add Reiki to it. Um, but you don't have to have me for Reiki. There are many other amazing practitioners. But really, really, you want to go into the pain and feel it and cry it out honestly. Even if you start shaking physically and feel pain, just do it because you the inner lion in you really wants to roar, really wants to roar, and you gotta let it go. Ah, all right. Thank you for anyone who said bless you. Forgive me. Is it still dark? Light? Oh, well, next is Leo. Hi, Leo. How's it going? How you doing? All right. Message for Leo. That was Seven of Cups. The eclipse is happening in your seventh house of relationships, and Uranus just went direct in your 10th house. So it could be some sort of career or work relationship or relationship with a mentor that is coming through. Um, Seven of Cups, that's you recognizing an illusion of some sort, injustice. So the fog clears, you recognize some sort of an illusion that you've been under, a lot of deception. Someone has been lying to you. And it's very hard to recognize and realize and come to terms with. But this is the time when you cut this off and free yourself from the lies that you've been also telling yourself. It was comfortable for you somehow to believe them or to believe in them. And it's like even when you try to confront them and or ask them or have a conversation about it and try to understand what's been going on, they still continue to deflect, to gaslight, to put a smoke screen over your eyes, and it's just exhausting. You're like, you know what? I'm done trying. Like you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm asking. Um, and I feel like they're saying, oh, they're doing this in the name of truth somehow, but no. People like to tell themselves that whatever it is in the name of this and the name of that, we make a lot of excuses for the shit. But you used to not be able to see it or you believed it. Um, but now with this eclipse, you're like you're wise, you're wise, and your eyes are wide open, and you're cutting something out um, that made many promises or was supposed to be promising, but you realize it was just suffocating you energetically and mentally somehow or emotionally. It's like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I ventured for. But it's not going to be easy. You're gonna have to make a cut. And you're breaking out of a contract or out of a commitment, out of a promise. Here it comes in. Rune for Leo, please. For February. Or in the reverse. Something that you've invested in, that you trusted, that was uh, somewhat of of a source of stability or the perception of stability, is breaking down, and it's a loss of some sort, but it's a loss that liberates you. It's like you're not losing a true stable promise. You're losing the illusion and the perception of a true stable promise. And that's good. I mean, even if it feels terrible, it's still good. For those of you that it applies, you might be going through with a divorce and you're willing to let go of some finances just to be free of the relationship. Maybe you're like, take the house or take the money or take the car or whatever. And it's like, just let me go kind of thing. And that's for very few of you, of course. Definitely an intense eclipse because it's also squaring Uranus in the 10th house. So you're changing status. Maybe you're going from married to single or from single to married. No, this is a different. You could be going into a relationship, but it's going to play out differently. Either way, it's happening in parallel to this ending, and this could be a work contract, by the way. This could be to do with finances and not romance. Play differently with different lovely Leos. When you got Leo, you got this. You got this. Did I not write Leo? Oh, sorry, I skipped Leo with writing it in the chat. And now we're in Virgo. Okay. If you're interested in studying tarot from me, I have an online tarot masterclass called the Catalyst Tarot. Has 90 plus pre-recorded classes. And I take you through the entire of the Fool and the tarot cards. And you're not just learning how to read tarot, which you will, but it's also learning how to be a catalyst and a spiritual teacher, utilizing the wisdom of the tarot. It's a shamanic journey, a spiritual journey. One of the things that a lot of my disciples had said is that it completely transformed their lives. Um, so you have it for unlimited streaming available on channel membership, specifically Golden Ratio. It's a monthly membership you can cancel anytime. And during your membership, you will have access to all the classes, and you can either take them chronologically, which I recommend, or you can choose to utilize it as a library, which you can do right away technically, but I recommend only doing that after you go over all the classes chronologically. So you can jump from one class, one tarot card to the other. Let's say you're having a spread or reading, three cards came out, and you just want to know about these three cards or a reminder, you could just take, the star card class and the Ace of Wands card class, Ten of Pentacles, or the court cards, or whatever the case may be. I also implement relevant knowledge to do with from the Greek mythology. We did with the Five of Wands for who was it? I forget. It was Taurus. And numerology and astrology and Kabbalah and the specific cards that it applies to. So there's a lot of mysticism there, like the tarot. So if you wish to take that journey with me, we'd love to have you there and enjoy. Be sure to comment in the classes that you're taking, how you're feeling, if you have any questions. Happy to read and perhaps answer. Okay. And you can cancel it at any time, and it will also include everything on Shifter membership, which is the therapy, sequel, Teroscopes, and all the karmic shift exploration series and signs. Okay, and now we're doing Virgo. How are you, Virgo? Good to have you. Virgo, please, for February. This eclipse is in the house that you naturally rule, the 6th house of service and healing and wisdom. And you're stripping away that which you should not be serving anymore so that you can have energy to be of service where you need to be of service. Um, It will also bring out people, situations, things in your day-to-day schedule that are just a waste of time or no longer serve you properly. So please remember. You also have the High Priestess. Gemini had her too. And the Fool, but this is a completely different energy. Okay. Whoa. And the Fool. Virgo, you've been the keeper of knowledge or of some wisdom in some way, shape, or form. The gatekeeper, the discernment, the protector, even energetically, like the librarian and the Akashic records. Um, and it's time for you to step outside and continue to explore life so that you, A, can gain more knowledge to add to the library, also so that you can experience and be able to speak from experience and not just from the books. And when I say the book, it's of course can be a literal book, but it's also like the cosmic book because you tapped. Uh, but it's like it's saying it's time for you to live your life and enjoy your life. You have plenty of wisdom, plenty of intuitive understanding, plenty of capacity to heal. And you reach a level where it's time to start a new cycle of experiences, adventure, fun, and joy, and not be so serious. Like kind of be the Tao of Pooh. Just have that wisdom play out in your fun day to day, but be lighthearted about it, silly about it, and not so serious. Um, it's just like more like of a childlike way to express your wisdom and to lead by example, not necessarily speak it or preach it or teach it. Although for some of you it's inevitable because maybe it's what you do for a living, but more like with in situations, just lead by example and do your quirky, weird, out of the box thing where it's like people don't understand why you suddenly did that, but it works. And it's like interesting. And so they try it. And you didn't say anything, and they didn't say anything, but you affected them profoundly, right? So that's the kind of energy you're stepping into this month, and that this eclipse is bestowing on you. And now let's do a rune for Virgo. Gepo, it's time for you to love and be loved and have fun. You've you have served, you have given quietly, respectfully, with humility. You've played your part as the keeper of, and you deserve to have some fun. They're saying it's not over, it's not that you're not supposed to do it anymore. It just needs to play out a little bit differently here, for at least for the time being. You're called to implement your knowledge in your day-to-day relationships and to not go about it alone from this. You have been going about it alone. You've been journeying, even if you had occasionally people around you, it was a very solitary journey. Um, you attained so much. Time for you to implement in your relationship, possibly even likely a romantic relationship. Um, where you're just going to get to have some fun. So Enjoy, Virgo. You deserve it. Okay, great. That's awesome. Next is Libra. How are my Libra seekers doing? So it's happening. The eclipse is happening in your fifth house. So people talk a lot about the fifth house being like romance, dating, fun, creativity, children, but they're forgetting that Leo, which is what rules the fifth house in general, is also a leader, also the king of the jungle. Fifth house is also a house of leadership and a lot of power from the heart. It's where life force is, where the sun is, where enlightenment is. Enlightenment is not just reserved for the ninth house, very much so in the fifth house. So having an eclipse there, some of you, yeah, will play out as romance, um, but creativity and fun. And for some of you, and or you will step into a very important leadership position. Could be in the field of creativity somehow, to do with children. It doesn't have to be. Could be from a place of just inspiring others and leading others and being accountable for others as well. The lion doesn't exist in his on his own. He carries the jungle with him everywhere he goes. And that's what you have in the fifth house. So, I mean, you have Aquarius, so it's the house of society. You are a natural leader. Once you tap into your power and stop vacillating, Libra, you step into your role, into the opportunity, and two pentacles, one more, and four pentacles. When you're not afraid and acting insecure to present alleged humility enough, it's not the time for you to act humble. Always be humble, but the performative humility enough. Holding on to how you're perceived in the world, yeah, it's time for you to step into a new role. So cut the fear, cut the alleged insecurity. Some might not appreciate it, but then you're meant to be admired in by society, from a place of fairness, not like being put on a pedestal where you're like a godly higher, but like as a leader who leads by example. Watch Virgo if you haven't, or something similar there. But you're guided to tap into some sort of power that right now you're really resisting and vacillating and whether you should stay in it or not. It's a lot of excuses, it's a lot of fears, it's a lot of being performative to your environment. Who am I to do that and that? Why should stop? They don't care. Not really. It doesn't matter. You're called for something bigger this month, but many of you that watch this are playing it really small. And it could lead to this opportunity or just this energy staying stuck and it will take some time for it to be free. Um, don't be scared of trying something new and different and possibly bold. Um, don't over focus on what you have, fearing that you might not need it anymore or utilize it anymore with this new thing or this um, option, possibility, opportunity. This is something you're going to have to not just say yes to, but also be um, active and leading with. It's not, you can't be passive. At this point, you can't be passive and someone else will kind of lead you by the hand or initiate. You're called to be initiative and leading in here, or at the very least proactive. So, okay. for those of you who need to do that. And now a rune for Libra for February. Yeah. Most of you who are watching this are not going to tap into the message that I gave about the lion carrying the jungle. You're still choosing to act small. I can't tell you what to do. It will create some sort of stagnation in your life, um, and it will delay something. It's not to say that it will cancel it or end it completely, but at the very least delay it. You're choosing to be in the snow when you can be in the sun. It's a choice. Okay, you do what you need to do with it. Good luck, Libra. Right. Next is Scorpio. How's it going, Scorps? Scorpio, February. February. um, this eclipse is happening in your fourth house. I just did a reading for Scorpio. Okay, we have three cards out. They just all fell together, so we're going to take that. Two of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Eight of Swords. There's some sort of opportunity or offer that someone is making or presenting to you that emotionally you want to take, but you're very, very scared and you're worried that you can't do it. You can't get it. It's not going to work. Don't judge the ending based on your perception. This is possibly an experience you're guided to have regardless of the end result because it will help free you from some sort of stagnation that you've been stuck in for a long time with constantly debating yes, no, yes, no. Just make one decision and then worst case, do it or change your mind or do something different. But flip a coin and just either say yes or no. Pages and generally the court realm is asking us to utilize opportunities that they come and then we either take them or we don't and then they move along. And so this is going to be something you'll be prone to say no to or hesitate, but the cards are like trying to inspire you to be braver about this, to not stay in your um, status quo and what you're used to doing. Some of you are debating if to like reach out to someone and express yourself emotionally, tell them how you feel. You worry that it might not be appropriate or immoral somehow. But I think it's just stories that you tell yourself in order to avoid doing it. Again, there's Libra had it, a level of fear, um, rationalizing it with reasoning as to why not, but it's actually fear. Who had it? Aries. Just be aware of why it is that you're hesitant. Don't tell yourself that it's because of logic and reason. Acknowledge that it's fear, and from there you'll be able to make decisions or choice that is more in alignment with what's good for your situation. Luck with that. And if you're involved with someone you don't really care about and you're debating if to reach out to someone you do care about, but you're like, oh, I should be involved with this person, right, you are technically involved with someone. It won't be appropriate, but then why are you, but if you know you don't want to be with them, why are you with them? That in and of itself is not fair to them, right? Wasting their time, not being honest with them. So it's like you're already doing something that is not fair to them. So you may as well be honest with them and tell them how you feel, or should I say how you don't feel. Might be with someone that you're committed to, but you don't have feelings for, or you're not interested in as much. They have stronger feelings toward you than you have toward them, and you're not being honest with them, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't reach out to that person that I'm excited about because I'm with them. Right. You should be honest with the person that you're with, but it's like you're deflecting to a different type of dishonesty to avoid the real dishonesty. So just be honest with that person and give them a chance to say or to choose and to be like, maybe I don't want to be with someone who isn't as excited about me and is looking out and thinking about other people. It's hard, you know. Just don't give yourself excuses. Um, Rune, don't be like, oh, I can't do that. It will hurt your feelings. It's a lot more hurtful to have someone waste your time, dilute you as to the fact that, and give you the impression that they care about you when they don't. That is hurtful in and of itself. Just be honest. Scorpio. Or don't, do your thing. Rune for Scorpio for February. February, what can they say February? And Zeus in the upright, you have the wisdom. You have the moral ground. You know what's right. You know right from wrong. Just follow through with it. There's a dissonance between what you know to be true and right versus what you do. And so the fact that you know better actually doesn't make it better. You're operating from ignorance. You're doing something despite knowing better. So acknowledge that and work from there because you know what's right. You do. And you know the truth. So vocalize it. And Seuss is the teacher. It vocalizes their truth, and what they know they don't. They're not cheap on dharma. If you know something and you're the person in the room to say it or to know it and to catalyze change or progression, then that's may as well be you. It's your job now, placed in that room or in that situation to express what you know. Don't deprive your environment and evolution of consciousness in society or in your environment by acting either lazy or fake humble. Okay, great. Sorry, that was a little bit of tea spilling, but some you needed to hear this. But good luck, Scorpio. You got this. You're awesome. Okay, Sagittarius. Are you guys here? I can see that you're here, but you're not talking to me in the chat. Say hi. Oh, and of course, give this video the hype if you're watching this from your phone, especially if you watch this on the Cube Speak. Well, that's the only way you can, I believe, as far as I know, and help these messages reach a broader audience. Thank you. Saggy, February, third house is where your eclipse is where the eclipse is going to occur for you. Change of environment, close environment, I'm picking up specifically. Neighborhood, uh, where you go to learn something, you're changing a gym, I don't know. Four of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and the Emperor. Okay. Sagittarius, wow, you're making a really big leap this month from acting fearful and stuck, acting initiative and leading and accountable and brave. You're like completely, and it's all been in you, but something has been keeping you stuck a little bit, and still might currently as your says, but something happens that sparks fire up your booty. Maybe you're inspired by someone or by something. Maybe it's your own inner inspiration, but it really fast tracks you to um, really showing up for something big, building something, leading something, being accountable for something, responsible for it. Um, something that you were something that you weren't showing up for. You were not showing up for it. You were not um, playing your role. You were not being responsible for something, and you just something completely changes. What is it? You suddenly feel passionate about owning something or showing up for something or being responsible for someone or something. And it happens from your core, from your inside, from your instincts, and it just sparks desire and a sense of responsibility. You're like, I want to show up for this. I want to show up for this person. I want to show up for this situation. I want to take the reins. I want to not run away, deflect, um, deny, which is something that you have been doing in relation to something. I feel like I said the word something so many times. Uh, some of you are being placed in a position of authority, promotion. Um, you're given this opportunity. And you're saying yes. Uh, heat of the moment. And you're like, I can't believe it. I did that. I can't believe it. I said yes to it, but it puts you on your seat. Good. So good luck. That's really, really great. Let's see a rune for that for you for February. Sagittarius. Virgo in the reverse. Some of you have been holding on to someone, not letting them go, not letting them spread their wings, and creating, or someone has been doing that to you. Again, it could be reversed, and it created lack of joy and a level of sadness and depression in that person, on the person on the receiving end of that control, and so they break and go their own way and are no longer held back by that energy. Again, this could be you, that someone has been doing that to you, and you're breaking free. You're paving your own path. Or this is someone that you've been doing this to that is breaking your own path. This is how we'll just completely added a new, won't go in the reverse, added a whole new flair to this. Either way, good luck, Saggy. Okay, next is Capricorn. Wait, did I do Ophiuchus? I skipped Ophiuchus. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just do Capricorn and then do Ophiuchus. I forgot. I was supposed to do it between Scorpio and Sag. I'll do Capricorn and then Ophiuchus. It will be the last one. Okay, so two more. Capricorn. Aquarius. This eclipse is happening in your second house. I'm not guided to speak about finances, more so the sense of self-worth and sense of self in general, stability, and a sense of belonging. Capricorn. It's like the cards just moved to pulling out three cards when they were in two cards. That's why you just listen to the cards and don't do it on purpose. It's not that some cards received two, some three because some are more important than others. I just listen to the cards into spirit and then utilize the cards that come out. As simple as that. Seven of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and Hangman. Okay. Let's see. Capricorn, you don't have to push through this. You don't have to finish the book that you're not enjoying. You don't have to finish the movie that you don't like. You don't have to finish the project that you just can't stand, that you were passionate about and you were into, and now you're just not. You don't have to. Says who? What are they going to? It's in your mind. You change your perspective and stop focusing on what you're used to focusing on, which is like, I gotta finish at all costs. No, you can put that book aside. You can change the direction of that project or of that goal. You can stop it completely. You can do whatever you want. You have that freedom. Oh, someone's gonna say something. Well, okay. You can't always be that horse. Capricorn. You can't. Your well-being matters too, and your right to change your mind. You get to change your mind. You get to have a different dream. You get to want to do something different. You get to just drop it. Other signs, other people, I would say something completely different to, but you've been very much reliable at all cost, fulfilling promises you didn't even make. You can take a break. You can do something different. It's not going to make you weak. It's not going to make you bad. It's not going to. This is not the case. They can listen. I'm going to just say it. It's also they can handle. They can carry on without you. They're going to survive. They're going to push through. They're going to make it work. They're going to make it great. Yeah, it would have been great if you were part of it, but it's also going to be great if you're not a part of it. The graveyards are full of people who are irreplaceable. You are replaceable, and I'm not saying that because you're not amazing. You're fantastic and phenomenal and helpful, but you are replaceable as everyone in this world. This is not about accountability as it is about being guided to express humility. That person that you're with because they're in love with you and you promise them, yeah, but you don't really love them, right? And they deserve someone who loves them as much as they love you, that it's mutual. And maybe they're not this incompetent child that can't deal with life without you. Maybe they're a grown-ass adult, and maybe they can, and maybe once they're put in a position where they need to show up for themselves, they'll pull through and find that strength inside of them and grow. Don't deprive them of that. So this can play out in romance, this can play out in career, this can play out in anything. Trust that people can handle it. It's okay. Sorry, I felt like I needed to be a little bit tough love there. You do it for us all the time. Someone, you deserve someone doing that for you too. Okay. Rune for Capricorn for February. And hope you had a lovely birthday season, by the way. And so send the upright. Yes, you're the best. I'm not being sarcastic. You know how to do it great. You know how to say it great. You know how to teach it. You know how to show it. You know how to do it. Amazing. But you let people find their own inner, wisdom and teacher. Don't be their teacher, be their guru, right? Let them find their own wisdom. Sometimes you gotta hold a little bit of that wisdom and of that knowledge, not because you're gatekeeping it from them, that's a different thing, but because you know they can find it themselves and you want to teach them to find it themselves, so you're giving them the opportunity to find it within themselves. There's a difference. You're not holding back information from them or knowledge from them because you believe they can't handle it or they don't deserve it. That's gatekeeping, that's an old world type of teaching, and we're done with that. Humanity. Give people the opportunity to grow. So that's what I'm saying. You're not saying something, not doing something for someone because you know they can, not because you know they can't, but because you know they can. That's the difference. Do it in a way that clarifies it. Hey, I'm not doing this for you, not because I don't believe you're worthy of this, or I'm not telling you the answer, not because I don't think you should know. I'm not doing that because I believe in you and I think you can get there yourself in this situation. And when you say that to them, that changes everything because they no longer feel disrespected or abandoned. They feel honored and cared for. Sometimes we just gotta explain why we do what we do or why we don't do what we don't do. Good luck, Capri. Okay. Are we in Aquarius? Because we started, if you're just tuning in or you skipped this time, we started with Aquarius to the Scorpio season. We went through the zodiac sign, we just did Capricorn, and now we're doing Ophiuchus, the 13th sign. An integration of Scorpio and Sagittarius, cardinal water, um, mutable fire. I wanted to do it between Scorpio and Sag, but I forgot, so we're doing it now. So, Ophiuchus, Secret 13, all the signs, none of the signs, the core center where they all meet on their scale is a journey to balance. So, any sign can watch Ophiuchus. And of course, Ophiuchus, which is technically from the end of November to December, say around, I believe, 28th of November to the 17th or 18th of December. That's your birthday. Okay, sorry, tarot. Tarot for Ophiuchus. Let's write it down right here. And guys, if you're timestamping, don't go technically just by when I wrote it in the chat because sometimes I wrote it too soon, sometimes I wrote it too late. It was a nice try. Tarot, please, for Ophiuchus for February. February or February? Do you pronounce the R or not? What do you say? Ophiuchus. Serpent's bearer. Seven of Swords. One more. And Page of Cups. And I felt inclined to pull another one, so Two of Wands. So we have Seven of Swords, Page of Cups, and Two of Wands. Okay. You're called to, instead of utilizing what you already know and trying to work with it in order to express yourself somehow, you're called to drop it, empty your cup, and be open to learning a new way, and doing something completely differently and taking a new direction. Because currently, what you know is not going to serve you in this specific journey you're about to embark on. So, in this month of February, instead of analysis and strategy, drop all of it. Think from your creative mind, from the 40,000 mind cells of your heart that the heart has, and allow the universe and other people to teach you and to guide you with serendipity and with just new information and new approaches. Be very, very open-minded to different methods, to different ways. And you're also called to be more physical in your journey. Kind of explore, learn from experience instead of the books or from what you already know from past experience. Create new adventures, create new experiences to grow. And it will start playing out in March. February is when you're making that transition in your mind and in your rune for Ophiuchus for February, please. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and join the existential shift. You're already home. You may as well solidify it. You're always welcomed here. No matter to me which timeline you're on, which both Earth or New you're on. This is the ether beyond duality. You are always welcome. Okay, seekers, all seekers. So share it with your communities so they find a spiritual home as well. You're having Kenaz in the downside. You're currently closed to new information, new ways in this month of February. So maybe it's kind of course correcting the message and it's telling, start that in Pisces season. Everything I just said. Start all the everything I just said for Ophiuchus in Pisces season. So after the eclipse, end of February onward. And right now, just kind of be smart and discerning and don't let things kind of so your energy is very fragile right now and very sensitive right now. You want to be discerning and not let certain ideas that are trying to kind of lure you in to affect you in ways that are not good for you. So right now, be more closed off, and then everything I said priorly, being open to other ways, start that from Pisces season, from end of February and March and onward, which these are more in alignment for you and are more honest for you to kind of present themselves as opposed to right now where you just need to be discerning. Okay, this was awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for if you choose to make a donation. I believe it's on the corner of the screen. You can, what's it called? Sorry, that's so funny. I'm forgetting a word. I'm blanking. Oh, the QR code. So you can scan the QR code and it will lead you to coffee to buy me coffee if you so wish. Otherwise, any services that I offer are below in the description box. I'm also on the socials and the different socials as the existential shift. Um, stay magic, stay free. I love you. Bye for now. Happy February.